Doing numbers like equations. Trench talk when you jump up off the porch as a youngin' and start posting on the block with the junkies and get it bounced.
The black sheep of the family is often the one who sees through everyone else's bullshit. Because in a dysfunctional family, members must accept their role within the dysfunction in exchange for love and acceptance. Once you start speaking up about your own thoughts and feelings, you will lose love as a consequence for stepping outside of those required roles.
Someone can say, I love you, and it means they want to spend their life with you. And someone else can say, I love you, and it means they want to spend a night with you. And the definition of love can truly be that large of a spectrum. Right? When someone says, I love you, you don't stop to say, wait, what do you mean? You just say, I love you back. And what you forget in that moment is that you signed up to your contract of the word love, but they signed up to their contract of the word love.
It was good, ladies and gentlemen, man. You back tuning to your boy Billionaire Charlie's Vision YouTube channel, man. And we gonna talk about it, man. We gotta break it down, man. The true meaning of love and the black sheep of the family, man. You know what I mean? I feel like I've been a black sheep of my family. I also feel like love has always been a complicated thing, either family members or relationship situations. You dig what I'm saying? So anyway, man, let's break it down, man. Let's talk about it, man. I had a cousin, right? You know what I mean? And she's a dope individual. I always felt like she was the black sheep of our family. One of those people that was always kind of like look over. But I remember, man, when I was at my brokest point, you know what I mean? Broken in heart, broken in spirit, broken mentally in all different types of ways. And how she spoke things into existence for me. I remember I was homeless, waiting for my apartment to come through, and I didn't think things was going to work out in my favor. And I remember when everybody got away, and she came to me and she gave me a dope conversation. She always seen something in me that I didn't see in myself. And I want to give her flowers now, her roses now, because I feel like I really appreciate a person that understood that I wasn't like an evil individual, evil person. I always had a good heart, good spirit. And she was one of the people that seen that. Because in a lot of relationships that I've been in with women and situations like that, sometimes people are going to a relationship with the same mentality they left the last relationship with, which men in life, for instance, if a man treated her bad in one relationship, she'll look at you as the same way. All you want is sex. All you want is this. You're not knowing the true nature of who I am as a person and how good I am as an individual. And I feel like my cousin, she always knew my characteristics and knew who I was. And every time I would talk to her about bad relationships and things that happened to me, it seemed like when we would have those conversations that it would hurt her more to even listen to me talk about it. You know what I mean? And I felt like we always had a deep connection where she always gave me wisdom and advice. You know what I mean? That's why I always had a high respect for her. I remember I was homeless, I had nowhere to go. And she called me up and she's like, where you was at? And I mean, she came and got me. She always stood in the trenches in the gap for me. And I always appreciate her, you know what I mean, just her leadership and her guidance and her belief in me, even when I didn't believe in myself. Them years back in the days when, like, I ain't gonna know, she ain't one of them sensitive, she a gangster, she ain't one of them sensitive type individuals. But it'd be moments I just wanted to cry and just hold her. But I would keep my crying to myself and just like, you know what I mean, just take in all the pain that I felt. But it was a special moment, a special time where she listened to me, she understood where I was coming from. And she gave me some powerful advice that I sit back and just think of to today, like the belief in me that I didn't even have in myself. You know what I mean? That's dope when you have a person that had that type of love and respect for you. You know what I mean? So, no, I mean, much salute, man. My cousin, you know what I mean? Jana Boo, man, I love her to death. You dig what I'm saying? But like I always say, man, love has always been a tricky thing for me, man. Relationships in general, because I feel like a lot of times in relationships, people go from one relationship to the next relationship with the same idea that that person is going to be that same thing that they just dealt with, not knowing that you could be completely different from what they ever experienced. And sometimes people don't allow those relationships to grow into something because they prejudging it. Like they say, judging a book by its cover, not actually reading the pages. And I think that's one of the worst things people can do in relationships. And that's how good relationships and love can be lost by not identifying who this individual and this person is. You know what I mean? And like I said before, as a kid growing up, I was in a relationship with one of my girls. She always wanted me to be more open, to talk more. And at that time, I had low self-esteem, low confidence, and stuff of that nature. I didn't believe in myself. I didn't believe that I can talk to people and they can understand where I'm coming from. I didn't believe in myself to that point that I felt comfortable in my own skin. As I become older and as I become wiser, as I went through adverse situations, I started to become more comfortable with myself and expressing things, because I felt like somebody going through the same thing I went through as a kid, where I felt like nobody could ever love me. Nobody could ever truly have my back. And I felt that most of my life just growing up as a kid. And what's so crazy about life is that I had a lot of opportunities just like a lot of other people. But being that I didn't have high self-esteem or high confidence in myself, I didn't get the opportunity to achieve the goals, the success with those individuals, because I wasn't confident in myself. That's why I always say it's so good to have a father in a home. A mother can teach a man for so much, but a man can really raise a man. Just like I can't, like my daughter, I can't teach her how to be a woman. I could teach her a lot of things, but being a woman, she need her mom for that. A father need to be there in the son's life, because there'll be those pieces. Like when my dad came around, all the jail time and things that he went through, the small things that he taught me in that small amount of time was all truthful and real. And like I said before, just imagine if he was there the whole time, I would have been a more confident young man and things of that nature. Like I said before, my whole life I've been like degraded and talked down upon and things of that nature. So that's why I always say, it's when people say women and men, like the way they look at big guys, the way they look at big women is completely different. We get so many bad stereo things that's on us, bad things that they say about you. You're ugly, your penis small, you can't do this, you stink. They say all type of bad things when you're a bigger guy, you know what I mean? But not knowing like you might be the best smelling motherfucker that walk in the room. You know what I'm saying? But going beyond the looks and all of those things, right? I felt like I was blessed with a lot of opportunities that I didn't take advantage of because of a lack of confidence. You know what I mean? A lot of good looking and amazing women had love and really rocked with me heavy, but being that I didn't have the confidence to actually pursue it or move it forward, it was my fault. You know what I mean? And this video is about like just love, like I say, the black sheep of the family, and just understanding your true power in yourself and understanding that you are great beyond what you can imagine in yourself. Sometimes you'll be at a low energy or you have low self-esteem, but in true reality is a gang of people that love you and like you and really appreciate your presence. And at that time, I never felt that energy. I always felt that I was somebody that nobody cared about or didn't have love for, which is not true, because it's like a lot of people rock with you. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't just yell it out loud. You know what I mean? Sometimes people do it secretly, you know what I mean? But it's a gang of people that just have love for you. They understand your conversation. They understand your wisdom. They understand your knowledge. They get you. You know what I mean? And sometimes it's like you got to have the confidence enough to be able to effectively communicate with those people. And I think as a younger kid growing up, I didn't have that ability to believe in myself. You know what I mean? Like I say, as years pass by and as I get more wisdom and things of that nature, I grow as a person. You know what I mean? And one of the things I learned as growing as a man is I always say, men lie, women lie, but a woman's eyes never lie. You know what I mean? And that's one of the things that I always learned. This is one of my abilities that I learned over the years. And this is why, like, a lot of times when I talk to women, I look at their eyes. I can tell if they're lying by their eyes. I can tell they tell the truth by their eyes. I can tell if they like me in their eyes. I can tell it all by their eyes. I read their soul through their eyes. That's why a lot of times I was talking to this girl one time, and she knew what I was doing because she keep looking down. You know what I mean? I'm not really good with body movement, but I'm really good at eyes. Like I can read your eyes good as hell. So when she was talking to me, I would look in her eyes, you know what I mean, just to see what she was on. You know what I mean? But she'll look down. She'll try to look away. She's like, no, I ain't gonna let you read my soul. I ain't gonna let you, you know what I'm saying? Because she already knew the ability that I had when it comes to that. I'll be sitting regular. And if you give me eye contact, I'll be able to read you. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's just one of them abilities that I captured later on in life, and I learned how to polish it. Sometimes I just play around with it. I remember this girl, like I say, I'm reading her eyes, and I could just see all the darkness and the scheming and the corruption in her. I could just see it. And she was a person that, once again, you read the cover about looking at the cover of a book and not actually reading the pages, like she looked so perfect in person, but behind closed doors, she was like a very dark and sneaky individual. You know what I mean? So it's like I could see it instantly, just reading her eyes and her talking. Like I say, the average person would see her and wouldn't see it, but I see it all. And then it's like later on, you'll come back, you'll be like, damn, he knew all of that shit. Like, yeah, because I'll be able to read her eyes as she talking. Like each woman out there could read their eyes and be able to tell. Like I say, a woman's eyes never lie. I could tell when that person liked me. You know what I mean? It's like different things that I read from the eyes. You know what I mean? So it's, I already know. If I sit in front of a girl and we having a conversation, I could tell. I could just ask her a question. I could just tell her. She don't have to say yes or no with her mouth. I could just tell by her eyes. You know what I mean? I just be able to read it at that high level like that. And I play with her a lot now. You know what I mean? Being that I got the gift that I understand it at a high level. I play with it now. I just be joking, playing around with it, just reading people just for fun, just to make it always sharp whenever I need it. In case there be a crazy situation, I can use that ability. But not to go too far and too deep into that. You know what I mean? I just like, I look at life nowadays and I feel like that the sky's the limit for a person like me. You know what I mean? And like I say, when I pray 5 times a day, I just give thanks that I'm still alive, I'm still breathing. You know what I mean? I was able to have some beautiful kids, and life has been getting better and better for me. Even though this has been a rough year for me, you know what I mean? I'm just thankful to be alive. You know what I mean? Sometimes I be in a mode, like I remember at one time I was in a mode where I was just like tired of people, tired of social media, tired of all of that. And lately I've been in a mode where I just want to celebrate everybody. Like every time I see a happy birthday, I want to say happy birthday. I want to say anniversary. I want to say happy anniversary. I just want to just celebrate everybody. You know what I mean? Because I've been in this spirit of joy, of happiness, of confidence, of just supreme wisdom and just knowledge. I've been feeling good lately. You know what I mean? It's just from God, like just healing me. Because it was a point, I think I said this year, I meant last year, where it felt like the end of the earth for me. You know what I mean? Where I cried so much and I felt so much pain and I felt so much disappointment. You know what I mean? And I just felt like I couldn't figure out what it was in that season or why I felt like at the bottom of the earth type thing with somebody. I felt like a piece of gum that somebody stepped on. And I just remember just those broken feelings that I felt and just the sadness. Like I said, I remember like just crying tears in my bed, crying tears on the porch, just crying. You know what I mean? And like I said before, nobody ever see me in no mode. They always think I'm in the jolliest mode. But like me, bro, like I go through those moments where I just break down. And I always try to get away from everybody and just try to deal with it mentally. You know what I mean? Then like I said, I talk about it and I experience it. Like I said before, my heart, I think one of my biggest things that I have being a mother's boy is that I've always moved in such a loving spirit where it's like, if I had $1 million, I would try to help as many people as I possibly can, which I feel like is a weakness of me because people take advantage of people that have good heart, good spirit, good energy, and they see it from a mile away. You know what I mean? A person that will never speak to you, but they'll take from you. You know what I mean? A person that you would give a lot to, and they'll be like, oh, man, you just want some sex. Or like, oh, you just want some this and that. And you be like, what? Like, you be confused with the energy they're coming with because it's like, once again, they're creating a narrative that don't exist. You know what I mean? Especially for somebody that done so much for them, for the people, and for them to turn their back on them and say such negative things. Like sometimes it's heartbreaking to see a person be so negative towards somebody that done so much for them. You know what I mean? It's like, it's crushing. But like I said, I experienced that a lot with the different people because I feel like they want to create a narrative that benefits them within their narcissistic behaviors. You know what I mean? The egotistical behaviors that they be having. You know what I mean? And like I said before, man, I look past it because I feel like a blessing's gonna come to me because I feel like I don't want revenge or anything. I just allow the universe to give me justice. You know what I mean? In the midst of all that hatred and pain that people dash out at me like that. You know what I mean? But like I said, I've been a person, man, my life, bro, like being broken and demolished. Like I said, I ain't no dude with no 6-pack or pretty boy type of guy. Like I said before, I'm just a regular individual. And as I grow more, it's like, for me, like I always tell a lot of people, bro, like a lot of times I see a lot of women move on sex for love. And you know what I mean? Whereas a person like me, is deeper than sex. The woman can have the most garbage sex in the world, and I could love them. And because I don't move off sex, I move off vibes. I would love to be with a woman at all times that I can effectively communicate with, to understand me deeper than just having sex and things of that nature. Somebody that I can actually relate to, somebody that I can actually grow with and build with. You know what I mean? And like I always say before, it's nothing like having a woman that understands your true purpose and willing to be a part of it and help get to the next level. A lot of times people want to come around when you win. They don't want to be through the struggle or go through those pains. They'd rather come at the end and celebrate at the end. And like I said before, man, life is bigger than deeper than that. You know what I'm saying? Like I said before, like sex don't move me. It's the vibration and the energy that come with the individual. And it's nothing like having a dope conversation with somebody and y'all can relate and understand. Y'all not going to agree on everything, but y'all can effectively communicate to the point that the conversation is beautiful. You know what I mean? It's like I said, I had a lot of relationships, a lot of situations that I've been in where I talked to different women, and I was just seeing that they could not connect in any form of fashion because they first looked at looks. They first looked at this, you know what I mean? And it wasn't connecting, like, you know what I mean? And if I wasn't bringing chaos or drama or something in there, like, you know what I mean? Like, some people really live in darkness where it has to be chaotic, it has to be evil to even have a conversation. I think it's so dope to talk to a person that's beyond that. You could talk about those things, but you could talk about things that's bigger and better than, you know what I mean, the average who's messing with who type of situation, you know what I mean? But like I said, man, I thank God for the experiences that I've been with and just understanding love and just understanding, like, being the black sheep of my family and understanding the true purpose of who I'm supposed to be. And like I say, for anybody that's watching this video, one of the things I always would tell people is that it's always somebody out there that love you. It'd be the most, let's say you're a dude and you have low self-esteem or low confidence and you feel like it's nobody there. I feel like it is. I feel like it's a lot of those people. You know what I mean? Because it's like, a lot of times if people really be rocking with you, you just never know it. I had a lot of experiences like that where I remember was like this extremely beautiful light-skinned girl I used to like talk to and stuff. We used to have these deep, now once again, that's what I say, we had these deep, great conversations, and I never really thought of her actually wanting to be with me. And I remember one time I'm in church and she just like staring at me and staring. I thought something was wrong with my face or something like that. And then later on I found out that she liked me the whole entire time. And it was all real, it was all true. And like I said before, this had been a lot of experiences like that where it was love there and I didn't see it because of a lack of confidence. And I think we got to walk in confidence, supreme confidence and belief in ourselves. And it's thing that I lacked most of my life, you know what I mean? Just not believing in myself and in my true ability, you know what I mean? But this video just is about just the deep meaning of just loving self, you know, understanding love and being a black sheep of your family, and also being able to take that good wisdom that some people will give you during the way that everybody look past on. You know what I mean? I'm willing to have those deep and dope conversations, man. I thank y'all for tuning in, man. I'm out.
A will to win a healthy life. All natural products. Come join the new movement, guys. We got products in different categories such as sports, weight loss, beauty, and also household products that's all made all natural. Click the link in the description.
Hey guys, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and also hit that like button. And when you hit that notification bell, it will always let you know every time that I upload new content.